Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. With it being such a specific platform as far as being Mac, I don't expect as many people to join us for this because it's so, you know,
We're
focused.
we're a small little club.
I think so. But I would like to introduce to you, if you do not already know her, Colleen Knights. She just last Tuesday did an amazing presentation in our regular volunteer genealogists 2 o'clock meeting on family search, full, I get those words confused sometimes, full text search. And
It is a good tongue twister.
that video is recorded and it is up on the YouTube channel. I don't usually, honestly, get them up there that quickly, but that one there was a lot of people asking about, so it is out there. Um, Colleen is the previous chapter registrar of the Nathaniel Green chapter in Greenville. Amanda Dickon, who is in the room with us, has recently stepped in that position instead. Colleen Knights is now the state co-chair for the Lineage Research Committee, and we appreciate that, Colleen. And with that,
Okay.
give us a view of Macworld. I don't even know why I'm here. I hate to say it. I have no idea what Macs do.
Well, there's a lot that is similar to they have been forced, if nothing else, out of popular demand to kind of emulate some of what Windows does. But there are specific apps. I Alicia, were you? I know Amanda was on the last one. Yeah, we'll just. I'm going to go forward, and hopefully, I'm not repeating too much of what the other ladies did. Um, but and I'll apologize in advance. I've been moving, so I didn't really have a ton of time to prepare this. So, but we're gonna move ahead and start at the beginning. Um, so again, we're going to focus on how to capture screenshots and manipulate them and get them into a format that you can use with an application. So Mac uses two programs. Okay, I need to share my screen.
You do, and I need to let you do that. I'm sorry. I always forget that.
I just got to the point where, yeah, somebody's going to want to see this.
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, I am entire screen share. Okay, we don't have to play with the partial screen like last time. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a couple of documents here to play with. And as I started to say, Mac has two free programs that interface with each other pretty easily. One is called Screenshot, and the other one is called Preview. Now, if anybody needs to know how to get into those or how to find them, let Susan know on a chat. I think they are easy to use. I'll show you the icon, easy to find. They should be in your collection of apps. And if you type in screenshot, you're going to get this icon. And that's going to open the program. Now, I keep this program down in my toolbar or whatever it is that this is called, my quick access bar, and it's always there available for me. So you can open that up. Now, most of the time, I use keyboard commands, and Mac is really pretty. I use keyboard commands all the time. We can go back to 20 years ago when I started having what I thought was carpal tunnel, and it was something different, but it still had the same symptoms. And I was told I couldn't use a mouse. And after I went into a tailspin, we got that all figured out with a touchpad. But anyway, I learned a lot of keyboard commands. I think they're a time saver, and I would recommend that you learn how to use them if you don't. You can still use this program with a mouse. And I'm actually going to use my mouse to show you the different functions. Let me see if this enlarges. No, it just does this. Okay, so once you've opened up, either starting from here, where did I have it just a minute ago? Screenshot. You can do it that way, or you can also do command. You're going to do command shift and the number 5, and that will pop that up too. I am going to send a tutorial to Susan that has these keyboard commands on it for you. So write them down if you'd like to, but that's for future. Okay, so this gives you the option to either capture the entire screen, which I rarely want to do. You can capture the selected window, which here would just take this one section that's highlighted. You can capture a selected portion, and this gives you the ability to just highlight a piece of it and just this page or whatever. So we're going to do that. Now the command for okay, and I was going to show you too they don't show the keyboard commands here, which number. We'll get to that part. But okay, so just capturing a certain section is command shift and the number 4. So we'll just, it gives you the ability to just capture that. Now this captured the screen and it made a click, and I have my settings so it automatically will pop up in preview. So there's no copy and paste once you get it. Now let's do this again. I want to, oops, I'm going to go back to that menu. And here I was showing you, it gives you options. You can change where this goes. You could make it automatically go to your desktop or your documents, or if you're working on a particular person, you can have it automatically go to that file folder that you're saving her documents in. You can make it go to the clipboard, so you automatically just go into Word or PowerPoint or wherever you're working and paste it in there. You can create an email out of it and a message. That must be instant messenger. I never use messages here. And then other location, which you would specify when you set it up. It gives you 5 or 10-second options. That is actually more appropriate if you're doing a recording. You get a floating thumbnail. These are options that you're going to want to play with and learn. Okay, do you want to have the mouse pointer showing or not? Okay, so now the ones that I use myself, like I said, is I usually ask for a portion of the screenshot, a screenshot of a portion of the screen with the command shift 4. So we just did that. We told it to automatically go to preview. So now what are we going to do next? Going to enlarge that. And you have a tools menu here. And the first thing I do is I go and I adjust the color. Now it says adjust color, but it also allows you to, I'm going to hide people's faces. Okay. It also allows you to do the same thing that I think it was Clay that was showing how to play with the exposure and whatnot. And the same thing as with their tools. The snipping tool, you've got your contrast, you've got your exposure. The thing that I find, there's a couple of things, like this is, let's say you get a document that looks like this and it's got a lot of gray in the background, or if you have a page from a book that's yellowed, this exposure button will really help with that. Again, the contrast is what contrast always is. We have old enough TVs that contrast was something we played with on a regular basis. Saturation I've used to get rid of shadows on tombstones. Temperature tends to be a tone that you want to use with photographs. Sepia, you can get kind of a what's the word, you can create a mood for the document. But again, as Clay had said, the sharpness button is probably the very best invention on the planet for some of these documents. So between the exposure and the sharpness, I usually get most of what I'm looking for to get this to a resolution that I like. So now I'm done adjusting the color. So I'm going to close this box out and go back to tools. And I only want a piece of this image. Again, you can take a regular select. You want the rectangular selection. Hypothetically, I could take the whole document, cut off these edges. These aren't black, but this is where you would cut off your black edges. And you can do this and then go back into tools and hit crop. Or you can do your command K for crop. They spell crop with a K. That's how I remember it myself. But let's say you've decided you want just a portion of the screen. You're going to do your rectangular selection and go here, and then tools, and then crop. Now you've got that, and you could take that and put that as an enlarged image on the document that you're working with. This works the same as every other. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to do copy. You can also use Command C for that. And put that here. This is kind of a normal kind of thing that I might do personally. Now, you crop that, and what you really want is the rest of the document there. You can undo it. Sometimes I like to include the rest of it so that you've actually got the full image as well as the enlarged image. I think everybody's got their way of manipulating these. Now, you could in Word do all your underlining, highlighting, whatever you want to do. I like to do it either in this program or a paid PDF program I've got. Like, Preview allows you to do everything that, or mostly everything that you want. So here would be underline text. If this was a text document, you would use that. Since it's an image, you want to use a line. And that line pops up in the middle of the screen. And you just drag it to wherever you want to do it, want it to land. And it automatically draws a straight line. And you can, if it's at an angle, you can adjust as you need to. You've got the ability to make that a thicker border or a thicker line. Let's see. Then you have a text option. And that's little teeny tiny. The first time I used this, I ended up with about 9 of those before I actually saw that it was creating a text box, and I had to go back and you've got your this here adjusts the properties of the text. this creates your text box, and put whatever you want to in here. You can use these text boxes to take your title of the collection. Just do that. Sometimes what I'll do with these is Susan had mentioned leaving, or maybe it was Barb mentioned leaving a border over to the left. You can rotate this text, rotate left. A lot of times, whoops, undo, sorry. Tools, I wanted to, okay, hang on one second. We got the text box active. Here, let's do this again. There we go. It's gone. Text box. Let's try this again. Button's not working today here. All right. Copy. Paste. The screen keeps doing weird things. I'm trying to get out of what I'm doing here. Okay, so I think I'm remembering a function. Okay, here we go. We're gonna rotate that to the left. No. Okay. I'll figure out how to do what it was I was trying to do here. I know it's possible, but I usually do it in my PDF program. So I'm not remembering the step, but you are able to turn this text sideways so it goes up the left side. I like to do that because it doesn't reduce the entire image. You can keep that fairly large and still have your citation here. And the citations I put on these myself are usually more for me. If I've got a hypertext link, I'll put those in here so that I can use them later. Okay, so before I run out of time, let's make sure I've given you, let's go back to the screenshot tool. And okay, so we're going to take that. It's going to automatically pop up in preview for us. I am going to excuse me while I review my notes just a hair here. So we've done the screen caps, the screenshot. We got the entire screen, the selected portion of the screen. Okay, I wanted to show you how this works. Okay, we talked about that. Okay, if you're using this bar and you're not a function, keyboard shortcut kind of person, this capture button here will do everything that once you highlight the capture selected portion, you can come over here and hit capture and it'll achieve the same thing. I just happen to have a selection here. That's what it took. And now that brought it up in preview for you. So now once you get something into preview here, you have, let's get a better document. You have the ability to export and it will automatically default to your menu to a JPEG. It brings up your file manager or whatever they call it this week. And you can change the format to PDF, PNG, TIFF every once in a while. You want to use that. It can be brought into the iPhone photo formatting. I don't know what OpenEXR is, but you can put this wherever your little heart desires. Now, the other thing you can do with this is you can export it automatically as a PDF, or you can print and it takes us to the logical landscape or portrait, and then you would print to your PDF right here. I think that about covers it. I don't think I'm leaving a whole lot out, but again, I do have some things that I put together for notes. And
Well, that's about the right perfect amount of time, Colleen, because
oh, good.
like
So I guess I timed it properly.
yes.
Yeah, and by all means, if I've confused you or I've left out something you had a question with, drop me a note. I don't mind answering emails. Um, I am I am moving this week. The furniture moves tomorrow, I mean Friday. So
The
uh,
couch won't even be there anymore, right?
well, I'll be in the other place on yeah, the couch is moved. This couch is moving. So if the next Zoom we do, I'll probably be in my new place.
That would be nice. That would
Yeah,
be real good.
it'll be a mess. I think I told you, I feel like I'm living in a dorm room on moving day right now,
I-
uh, but it's all going to come together.
So why don't you go ahead and stop sharing your screen so we
Okay,
can see more of it,
I'm
everybody.
trying to find where to do that. Stop video.
I don't know. You're a Mac user. I can't help you.
Yeah. um, Zoom. Here we go. Stop share. There we go.
Now we can't see you.
I stopped my video. There we go. That was, I thought I was stopping sharing. It's been a really long
So,
weekend.
dude, any of you, thank you so much, Colleen. I mean, even not being a Mac user, I know I had to step away for a second, but I learned some things. Like, it is a very graphic oriented world, the Mac world is.
It definitely is, and I'm sure there's something that I do that I've forgotten to tell you, and I will email you these pages that I have that Chat GPT helped me create, by the way. I will give them credit. I was in a crunch for time, I'll just be honest. But
Moving.
yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to say thank you. I'm a Mac user. I've always used the controls. I had no idea there was an app called Screenshot, so I've got a whole new thing to do.
Good,
Wow.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
That
I'm very
does
excited
And
sound.
about that. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anybody else have any questions for Colleen on probably a lot of stuff for Mac, not just what she's covered today? I put you on the spot there, didn't I?
Yeah, I need her email. Well, I have a lot of things to ask.
You know what I'm really enjoying about this is um we what I'm seeing is little things like I'm going, wow, does anybody else think about this? And what I'm talking about are little things like depending upon the document, how thick that line should be.
Mhm.
because you can't use the same point size on every document because sometimes you don't see it too much in other documents. And it's kind of nice in watching the three of these last presentations to see that that is something that is thought about.
It is, and yeah. I mean, I'd like to say you can't break anything. Like I think who it was, somebody said you told your husband they can't blow it out.
Like,
Yeah, I always when I start playing in places I'm not familiar with, I just make sure I've got a saved clean copy to start with, and then start poking around and see what you can do with it.
see, I use Photoshop, and that's one thing they teach you all the time in Photoshop. The first thing you do is your first layer is a copy of your original.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So, Colleen, I have a question.
Okay.
So I noticed you put your citation in red. Do you always do that?
No, I don't. If I honestly, I didn't think about it when I was doing it, and it depends on the document. Sometimes I will.
Mhm.
It depends, if I need that to stand out, I do. But you can change the color of the. I showed where you could adjust the font settings. That's where you would change it to black.
Okay, so it's not like that standard. They want you to do that in red. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. In fact, they don't even require you to put the citation on there as long
Okay.
as it's there and it matches what's on your.
Mhm.
it's kind of getting to be a best practice idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like we like it, and they don't want the full citation on the application of how you get back to what it was you
Yeah.
found after hours of searching. That's why I'd like to have the URL. I'll paste down the side of it, and then you can just
And
copy.
yet, see, for me, a lot of times, because I have to sit there and think about the way that the DAR wants citations, depending, there are times that I will write the DAR citation on the front page of that, the margin of that document. Then when I go through to make my citation page, I just have to copy it. I don't have to think about it at
Has
that.
anybody figured out what I mean, I know there's a certain font they use, and I catch myself you pasting in the wrong font, and that kind of blows up your application for a minute.
The style guide of the DAR says that the DAR font is Minion Pro or Pro Minion.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but
Yeah, I mean, if you want to copy it and paste it out of your Word document or whatever, I could change. I would change my default font to that just for convenience.
I have set my default font to that just because I didn't think I would ever follow. I didn't want to have to go find out again. I found it once, let's just
Yeah.
make it.
Well, and then again, I tend to type them to make sure I've got it right. Then you go back and say, oops.
I just got, oh, I think it's Libby. Okay. I was gonna say Zoom user. Oh, there you are, Libby. The top of your head. Send me, okay, Colleen, you're gonna send me your little
Yes,
notes or your
yes,
notes.
I
Um,
am. I've got to
Libby
add.
would like a copy of it. What I was going to say, send me an email if you want the notes that Colleen says that she's got to offer you. I was thinking, oh, yes, I'll remember everybody that's in here. And then there's this Zoom user who I see, she looks like Kilroy right now. But I
Yeah,
see,
great.
but instead of trusting that I know everybody that's in the room because I only get to see like 4 or 5 of you at a time, except for when we're like right now. If you'll send me an email if you want those, I will get that turned back around to you.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
You've mentioned the DAR style guide. Where does one find that?
It was under the public relations
Okay.
section. Before I downloaded it before the new build, and when the new website build, and when the new website build came out, I noticed that they had the same style guide. So I don't know if they've changed it since then, Elizabeth, but that's where I found it. And I learned a lot because I was trying to, look at logos and what's proper, what's not, and all that good stuff. So
So the PR section.
public
Thank
relations.
you.
All right, I'm throwing us out, and what, Lorene? You gotta unmute yourself. Hurry, honey. Unmute. Lorene, I can't hear you.
Default font is what?
Minion Pro. All right. I hope to see you soon, you guys. It's been fun.
Thank you.